Thank you so much for staying tuned. I introduced him earlier on. Right now he's on set with me talking about a one-time permanent secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, a political analyst, political affairs commentator, a one-time also deeply involved with the Nigerian Labour Congress. Yes, he is a voice to be reckoned with. Join me to welcome Bashir Kadri. Welcome to TMI on this edition.
Wilson, thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure having you here, sir.
It's my pleasure too.
All right. So I believe you've been watching, listening to them talk about the outcome of the panel. We'll take a look at the hashtag and SARS panel report. Lagos State is at the front already. Now, from what the panel churned out, what is your view on it?
Well, for me, it's a good news. It's a good news because we begin to appreciate that something good can come out of Nigeria. Lagos is the centerpiece of Nigeria yesterday and today in the business world. I say yesterday because the centerpiece of Nigerian leadership, later Abuja, is now driving the process. But in business world, Lagos is the centerpiece. Lagos is one of the highest return in the country, with about $30 billion naira monthly IGR. So that tells you how much where they are. And so it is only reasonable to ask the panel to do just what they think they should do and do right. Because the international community have Lagos as a focal point. And whatever happened to Lagos will judge the Nigerian perception. So for me, it is interesting that we are hearing the stories out. We are beginning to appreciate that it is possible we want to speak the truth and still live in Nigeria and be happy. The opinions of Nigerians have been that you can't speak the truth and survive it. Today we are seeing that there's a clear picture that is possible. Let me also say here that what is also important is that Nigerians should be very careful with social media analysis. It has caused trouble both in Nigeria and other part of the world. People create stories from the blues when they don't even exist. And that set the entire country ablaze. The intention of the NSAS was not to destroy the TVC building, but to destroy the individual properties that were attacked. I'm yet to be convinced that that thing was not designed by hoodlums who have been targeting what to do to undermine the system. And Lagos have one of the largest number of hoodlums in the country. If you remember, before Fashola came to Lagos, under the bridge was accommodation. And thank God for Fashola who came and changed that narrative. So a lot of things have been happening. But I think what is also important, by the very dynamics, societal dynamics, which we have also seen in other climes of the world. If you read the history of the French Revolution, 1789, you also agree that they had a terrible experience, where there were classifications of human beings. It is designed to say that if you are a third-class citizen, you can't go to first-class market. Second class cannot go to first class market. It was a crime and against the law at that time in France. But when change was due, like somebody would say, Malcolm X or so, any idea whose time has come, no man can stop it. Stopping it is like moving against the train, and it will crush you like a pack of cards. So for me, this is a natural phenomenon. That's a sign that we are possibly going to get to where we are going to. It may be slow, but it is true that we'll get there. But what is also a take-home for me here is that the political class are beginning to appreciate that the Nigerian people have a tendency to say no when they want to say no.
When they want to say no?
Yes. Because we have also symbolically seen severally that the sitting government can be changed. It's no longer in use. Before the 2015 election now, it was almost like a tradition that any government in power cannot be changed by anybody. So forget it. But unfortunately, the thought was so much in the head of several people in the ruling party to claim that 60 years they will rule Nigeria. I'm quoting the leadership of that party very clearly, who said, we rule Nigeria for 60 years. Unfortunately, he didn't even stay for 3 months as the party chairman before he was removed. So nobody can play the role of God. The only man who can say nothing will happen is God. Who can say I'm in charge is God. Any man who says I'm in charge and nothing will happen is playing God, and it's very risky because you can't run against God's opinion. So this is exactly the picture that is already ongoing. Let us not preempt the result of the NSAS investigation in Lagos. Let us allow it to land, because we were not even the one that set up the panel. We're not even the one that decided that the panel should sit. We're also not the one that says the panel should give the truth report. We are only seeing the manifestation of events that are going to come up. Now, my final take before I anchor is that Nigerians should now begin to think well. Some of the problems of Nigeria are also caused by Nigerians. There are leadership problems, there are followership problems. The followership also need to rejig. There's a psychic distortion in our country, that it becomes only material that defines what you say, not morals. And you forget that if material defines what you say, you're also going to be a victim of that thing you have said as a president. Because whatever decision you take today and against somebody, because you have an advantage against him, prepare. Very soon, that same thing will come to you, because what goes round comes round. The truth about nature is that nobody can play God. Nobody can play God. It's only a foolish man that says there's no God. Because the more you say there's no God, they ask him, what do you say there's none? He say God. He say, but you say there's no God, but you say God. So how? You see, it becomes a contradiction. So for me, this is an open time for Nigerians to begin to think. Let's stop this blame game. We've been blaming too many times. Even where you are asked to come and lead the people as supervisor of works, they bring money to say, give the people their own share. You cut the money into two. Your own share is already with you. You cut their own into two and give them peanuts. And then tomorrow you have moral right to ask questions for the government. So there's a lot of moral decadence. And in fact, it is psychic. For me, it's called psychic distortion, where values are now the odds. Those who tell the truth are now the wicked people. Those who tell lies are now the superstars. This is exactly what happened at the beginning of this political era. In 2019, in 1999, shortly after that, it is how much toggery work you have done that qualifies you to become a parliamentarian. The Godfather sees you and assesses you and says, this man is very good. What makes him very good? Because he's been a good tog. And they give you the ticket to go and be a parliamentarian. They choose to go and be. Whatever you want to be, they say go and be. Even when you do not have any issue to reflect to as your pedigree to come to that position. So what do you expect of society like that when society has been sunk into it? And besides, finally, sorry, I'll keep finally. Let me tell you, we have also have collapsed family homes. We no longer homes, we now have houses. These are fundamental issues. We now have houses. If you want to run a society, there must be homes where people will be brought up properly with some level of decency. Today, there's a riot from the very lower family unit to the top society. But yet, all of us are blaming this. You blame this, tomorrow you blame this, you blame this. Even the role you have played that have caused that thing to, as a ripple effect, you no longer see it. You just think that what has happened. For every consequence, there's a cause. And the cause is at the fabric of the problem. And until we begin to address the causes, and let us see how we can arrest the issues. The consequences we cannot control. We can control the cause and regulate them, but consequences we cannot control them. If you have a good cause and the consequences come, it will be a good result. Like we are told that God made man in three items. We were born free moral agents to take decision, to choose either to do the right or the wrong. It was God's decision. Now, that free moral agent, you made a choice, which is the second leg. That choice you made, you also have a control of what choice you make. But what you don't have control of is the consequence. If you take a right decision, make a choice, the consequences you will enjoy. If you take the wrong decision, the consequences, don't blame anybody. Don't reject it. You cannot steal somebody's property, and then you want to celebrate when your own is stolen, and you are complaining. Be careful.
All right, thank you so much. Like what I said before, if he really wants to go on and on, he can go on and on, but he shared his own thoughts and opinion about the NSAS, panel outcome in Lagos. Let's see when the white paper comes out. Will Nigeria applaud Sanwo-Olu, and would other states follow suit? Because it's like there's no fireworks in other states. waiting for Edo State, we're waiting for Delta State, waiting for Shogbo. You just name it, Ogun. We're still waiting for the report to come out. All the same, only time will tell. Ours is to report back to you.